I was raised in a lower middle class family, and at times it was really enjoyable, but I always seemed to know that I wanted something more out of life. And I grew up across the street from a minor league baseball stadium, and I thought that maybe some of those players went on, I saw some of those players actually go from there to on the big screen, and I thought, make a lot of money. The reason why I mentioned that was one of the biggest arguments in our house growing up was about how much money we didn't have. And for some reason, ever since I was little, I wanted to solve that problem. I was fortunate enough to meet a very successful business owner in my early 20s. And after being on the roller coaster of success and attending a ton of personal growth and development and seminar training, this multimillionaire took me underneath his wing and taught me all the secrets that I was hungry for, which led to a tremendous amount of income. And it just became something that I guess now looking back at it, that became pretty addicting. Admittedly though, even though I had all this stuff, I couldn't get rid of this nagging emptiness I felt. I mean, at that point in my life, outside of building businesses, in 1 year, I put over $1.2 million coin in the casino. When you do things like that in a place like that, you're starting to get all this attention, and you're treated unlike you've never been treated before, especially growing up the way I grew up. I didn't know what that was like. But then something happened. There was a sudden change in my life. No matter what I seemed to put my hands on, no matter what business venture, nothing seemed to work. When it was starting to go downhill, I was recognizing all that. I kneeled down next to my bed without anybody else home. And I remember telling God that I hated my life and I needed his help, and I was crying next to my bed, just totally frustrated. It was 2 weeks later that I decided to consciously do this pot deal, that I was gonna do this drug deal in between this person and be the middleman and make up all this money. That I was watching videos online about the mob. There was a guy on there that was giving an interview. And I don't know where this came from, but the real answer is, in my head, all I heard in my head was, you need to know more about this guy. And so I wrote down his name on the interview, and I went into YouTube and I typed his name in, and the first thing I saw was interview with this guy. His name was Michael Francis, and this other guy named Greg Laurie, and I didn't know who either of them were. Because the first thing he said was, trust the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. For some reason, that night I heard it. I don't know why, I don't know how, I was just really emotional, and I heard it. The next thing that guy said was, if you feel immense guilt for what you've done in your life, stop letting the enemy or the devil convince you of what God's already forgiven you for. If you're truly sorry, he knows it, you can't pull a scam on him. And the ground at the foot of the cross is equal for everyone. All you have to be willing to do is come to it. So after surrendering to God and learning his word and building a closer relationship with him, he's helped fill in all those gaps that were empty. It's the only thing that ever did fill it. It wasn't the porn, the gambling, the women, the sex, all the things that were so lustful. He's fulfilled it way more than any amount of money could have ever done. I don't know how else to explain that. He fills you with with what's really love, peace, and joy.